What? Testing.
I can't. Let me go ahead with
You have to start following God.
That's right.
I know it's something that you probably never heard in your life, but it's something that you must learn to do. You have to follow God, man. And Christ came to teach you in the flesh how to follow God.
Right.
That was what Christ's whole life was. He went from city to city, just like we do, teaching how to follow God in the right way, because there was people back then that taught lies too.
Right.
There was people back then that taught false doctrines as well.
That's right.
It takes a man and a woman to make a child. So if a man is having sex with a man, guess what's not happening? You're not procreating. If a woman has sex with a woman, you're not procreating.
Right.
So guess what? That means our numbers are gonna go down.
Right.
Population control.
Talking about real love. Someone who can put his life down on the line so you can live, man. Keep going. Count verse 21. I do not frustrate the grace of God. I do not what? I do not frustrate the grace of God. I do not what? I do not frustrate the grace of God. We don't frustrate the grace of God, man. We don't tarry. We don't wait. We are aggressive, man. And on our aggression, we are going to serve God until the day we die, because we got to stay ready. And if we stay ready, we're going to get the kingdom of heaven, man. We're going to get the kingdom of heaven. There's no waiting when you come and serve God. Don't be patient to come and serve God. And in your grace, don't frustrate it.
The nations who oppressed you, who stole your land, who took your identity, who gave you bywords, you understand? If you join them, you're going to be destroyed with them. But if you turn to the Most High and keep His laws, statutes, and commandments, you're going to live in that terrible day when Christ returns. What did the Most High say? Read.
I will bring plagues.
He said I might bring.
I will bring.
I could bring.
I will bring.
I will bring. Read.
Plagues upon the world.
I'm going to bring what?
Plagues.
What?
Plagues.
What?
Plagues.
The Most High is going to bring plagues. And one of those plagues is known as the coronavirus, man. And you're afraid, like Donald Trump said, of the invisible enemy. Listen, there's going to be more plagues. The coronavirus ain't nothing compared to what the Most High got in store for the unfaithful and the wicked and the evil of this earth, man. That's right.
12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
Woe to him, which means destruction to him who built a town on blood. How in the hell you think you can build something on blood and everything is going to be all right? You know, in the world they got something that's called karma. Well, in the Bible it's called you reap what you sow.
That's right.
You reap what you sow. And what you see right now is a white man reaping what he has sown in this earth, man. That's what he has sown. Bloodshed.
You were sadly mistaken, man.
Right.
This is the death of America. That's what this place is. The fall of Babylon. We have a song in our organization we like to sing. It goes to something like this, right? Babylon is falling. So rise no more. Rise no more.
You in the crib, but the boy outside, I get it on outside. From the dusk to the dawn outside. So in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawing outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, your bladder be all outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the boy outside, I get it on outside. And that's a definite, cannonball wrecking shit. Excellent, Ron Barack and bombing like the president. I remain strong, King Kong with the prevalence. show you exactly what we do, that's how I represent. Hardcore, heaven sent, chain on, hella bent. Throwing all black when they spot me like the leopard print. Oh, I got the braids in, shades on, made men. Cause we put in work to stop the earth until it caved in. Walk strong, talk heavy, hold my own. You rock solid when we bout to leave the sword and the stone. Nigga, we warriors, hardcore, tracking the pride. To let the Hebrew speak, nigga, general eyes. And we talking super heavy, nigga, that's the surprise. With all scripture, street talk, word to Captain the Kai. Nigga, we blazing, ripping the mic with all facts. Doing the knowledge to the max till we cracking the pavement. UPK, y'all the one West Harlem, nigga. We spring forward and they falling like it's all.
Kenji, I can shake your hand. I can respect you. You understand? I can respect you. You understand?
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, saved facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Just dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fast for our babies to pass through. In the damn our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. My jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Hey, shalom, Israel. Let's clap it up. Hey, this is Priest and Officer DeWalker Bar. We're about to get into it. might be ending. We're gonna be ending a little early, but we're gonna bring out some heavy information. We're gonna talk about oppression, right? We're gonna get into oppression, maybe some child support, right? And how do we avoid that? How do we defeat that, right? And oppression is something that, people today, Black and Hispanic people, think if they get a job or they, get a good life and work hard for themselves and they become successful, or they, get a scholarship, or they become a professional athlete, or somebody that has, a high paying job and for the most part has a good life, or they're up in the upper echelon of society, they feel that oppression doesn't exist. They feel, well, you're just making excuses, right? So we're gonna get into some of that. Let me know if y'all can hear us. Let's put a 1 in the chat. Hey, Shalom, Real Jake 144. Hey, Shalom, Jaime. Davon, I hope I'm saying that right. Davon Brooks. Hey, Shalom. Shabal 5K. Hey, Shalom. Rika, Shalom. All right. So let's get what did I want? So the thing is, is Black and Hispanic people oppressed? Now, if you're in the truth and you've been following the truth, you know that we are oppressed, right? Right? Shalom, sis, Sister Baratanawa. You know that we are oppressed in America. It ain't no doubt. If you subscribe to the truth, if you've been following the ISUPK, if you're in the ISUPK, you know that we go through things in America that doesn't happen to anyone else, right? So some of the things that Black people say is successful Black people. I'm not talking about, everyday working under the poverty line Black people. I'm talking about Black people that are successful and they have a reason to try to hold on to that success. They say, well, you're not oppressed. Like what? Who's holding you down? Who's holding you down? Right? We got Tyler Perry. We got Oprah Winfrey. Michael Jordan. Who's oppressing you? You are oppressing yourself. You are making an excuse. You got a victim mentality. You playing the victim card. I've heard Black people say this. I heard niggas say this, like, you're playing the victim card. You're not oppressed. Who's oppressing you? What are they doing to you? Right? You can make a goal and you can attain that goal. Go ahead,
Right. So I was gonna say, Charleston White, he came out and said he's like, I'm not no slave. I was never no slave. My granddaddies and them was some slaves, but I wasn't no slave.
Right.
And he was justifying, how he was basically saying that what you're saying right now, like, I'm good, like I'm not oppressed. I'm not nothing like that. I'm good.
Can y'all hear the brother? Let me know if y'all can hear the brother. The brother just said, like, he was bringing out Charleston White, who's he's something like a Kevin Samuels, like a internet sensation, but he goes at rappers and gangsters, right? But anyway, he said, I was never no slave. My grandparents were slaves. That ain't me, right? And I think and I feel, though, when you say that you're oppressed, this is the truth. When you say that you're oppressed as Black and Hispanic people, what Black people hear and what white supremacists hear is you're a slave. Like, I don't think they really understand what the word what oppression really is. Right. Because I think they think that it's slavery. I think they think that, oh, you're in chains and you can't do nothing and you can't move how you want to move. Because they say, well, you're not in slavery. If you want to be a doctor, go to school, work hard, and you can become that. I agree you can. I agree that as Blacks and Hispanics, you can do anything that you set your mind to. You're God's chosen people. Why wouldn't you be able to? But I also agree that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are oppressed. So the thing here is, hey, the water for that. The thing here is that two things can be right at the same time. I just blew your mind. Two things can be right at the same time. Yes, you can attain your goals and your dreams and in the life that you want, but yes, you're still a nigga in America. Yes, you are still oppressed. It ain't just one. For some reason, we think it's just one or the other. Either you're oppressed, or either you're not. But how about this? Two things can be true at the same time. All right. And so, go ahead. What was you gonna say? That's what you read my mind, brother, because that's where we was gonna go. So if you could give me the definition of oppress.
Oppress under the Merriam-Webster definition 1: to crush or burden by abuse of power or authority.
To crush or burden by abuse or power of authority. By abuse and power of authority. Now, before the brother said that, before Karatazar read my mind, what I was going to say was that in every nation there was always an oppressed people and the oppressors. In America is no different. You have a people that's been oppressed and you have a people that were the oppressors, right? As a nation, we're not talking about individuals because, of course, some black people, they've been able to get through the cracks and they've been able to rise to high levels in government and they've been able to become millionaires and billionaires. So we're not saying every black person, because you know how black people is like, well, that's not my, I don't believe that because that's not my life. Well, this is not about your single little life. This is about the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. This is about us as a nation of people because the Lord dealt with us as a nation. He didn't deal with us as individual people. The Lord didn't deal with black people and Hispanic people as individual people. When we got put on them slave ships, you don't think it was some good brothers and sisters? It was some good brothers and sisters that didn't deserve to go on slave ships, but it was some wicked niggas too. Some niggas that hated their people too, that did deserve. When those Spanish conquistadors came and destroyed the Incas and the Mayas, you don't think it was some good people, some good, honest, pure, righteous people? Of course it was. But the Lord don't judge us by being individuals or individual Israelites. He judges by being a nation of Israelites. Go ahead. I'll read it from the top. Yeah, the definition. Read it from the top.
To crush or burden by abuse of power or authority.
To crush or burden. To crush or burden. Give me that. I swear, if you can find the scripture in Egypt where where Pharaoh hard bondage, he afflicted them. I believe it goes like that. To crush or burden in what?
By abuse of power or authority.
By abuse of power and authority. That's your life. Your life is coming from one oppression to another, from looking at another people that have a power, a certain type of power that they can wield over you. Stay with me, young man. They can wield over you and they can abuse that power. We didn't seen that our whole lives. You look at history, and the history between black people and white people, Hispanic people and white people, is a history of abuse. I can't forget Native American Indians and the European settlers. It's a relationship of abuse of power. It's a relationship of seeing somebody abuse and then burden another people. Go ahead, on. Okay, go ahead and give me that.
To burden spiritually.
I haven't even heard this definition, but even the Webster Dictionary is reading my mind. Go ahead.
To burden spiritually or mentally, To weigh heavily upon.
God damn. You said to burden spiritually or mentally. So, like, young man, if you could turn the heater on. I mean, so like not the heater, the cooler. But read that one more time. This is heavy. This is really big because this has happened to all of us. Go ahead. I want you to read the second one with the spiritually. Everything good, Ashwar? All right.
To burden spiritually or mentally, weigh heavily upon.
To burden spiritually or mentally. Damn. So Black and Hispanic people were colonized. When you brought over here in the transatlantic slave trade, you were burdened spiritually and mentally. Right? I bring this out all the time. There's a sister named Joyce DeGruy that wrote the book Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And in this book, she proves and she demonstrates how that trauma can be passed on through generations. She demonstrates that the things that your forefathers went through, although you were not a slave, you still have a mentality of a slave today. She demonstrated that. And let me help you out for you to understand if you're saying that's not true. If you get somebody that was, okay, when was you born? You was born in 2006, right? This is the point. If you get somebody, you know about the World Trade, you know about 9/11? Of course you do. So when it comes to 9/11, there are people that was not born on 9/11, but they heard about 9/11. They know about what happened with the World Trade Towers, right? Now, if you take these same people that was born in 2000, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And you put them on an airplane, I think somebody should do this experiment. I think somebody should do this, Karatazar. I think somebody put the people on the plane and then allow about 10 Arabs with what's the headpieces they wear? Turbans. With turbans on their head to come and sit down and quietly just sit down and don't say nothing to anybody. These people would feel some type of way about being on that airplane because that thing that's in them knows that, okay, 9/11, even though they didn't experience it. And we're just talking about 20 years. Well, let me hold my point. Let's talk about 400 years. Let's talk about 200 years of everyday trauma, being oppressed, being whipped, being, raped, being treated a certain way. You don't think that's still in you? Go ahead, Al.
TikTok got the little sounds that's going around. People act to them. They got one that says, like, they see a dude, they're like, when you see the quiet man on the plane, and it's an Arab dude's voice at the end.
Good night.
But it's like when they ask him like, "Oh, is this your first time driving the plane?"
Right.
And he yells out the saying right before they blow themselves up.
Oh, that little, what is it? Allah Akbar or something. Yeah. Oh, that's cold. It's on TikTok.
It's on TikTok.
That's savage. That's savage right there. But that shows you how people are still traumatized and how trauma can be passed down years to people that didn't even experience it. So when somebody says you're a slave, you were never a slave, or somebody says that you wasn't colonized because you live right now, that's not true. That's not. That doesn't mean that you wasn't affected by it. Well, this sister, she's a PhD. She proved that it is true. It is true the way that we treat our children. Is true in the way how we interact when we're in the spaces of white people. We act a certain way. It's true, but you can connect it back to the trauma that's been passed down, not only through the generations, but in the DNA. I don't know if y'all in the chat. I don't know if you're with me, but trauma can be passed down through the DNA. You can be born with behaviors that come from the past, your reactions that come from the past, how you feel when you're around to white men's in uniforms. How you feel about getting pulled over. How you feel about being told what to do by a Caucasian person at your job. And you don't want to hear shit they got to say. Excuse my language, but it can be passed down. Let's keep reading. Give me more on it. Oppression. That's the subject. Give me more on it. That was it. That was it. That was Webster's. All right. There's no more, because is anything that says anything about excessive or anything about unjust or unfair. You could drop that. So you said it gives you examples. I'm gonna ask you in the live, and I'm gonna ask the brothers, what are some examples of oppression that we see in the world today with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Oscar Ward.
The Asian hate getting justice,
Mm-hmm.
and Black people not getting no justice.
Oh yeah, y'all remember that when they was talking about stop Asian hate? Stop Asian hate. And I think it was a couple of videos with Black people putting hands on Asian people, right? And I don't know where that came from. That just came out of nowhere. That stop Asian. I don't even know what that was about. But every example that I saw was them trying to put it on Black people for assaulting Asians, right? What are some other things? What are some other examples? Let me see what Jaime said. Jaime said, you tend to move differently, sir. You see the police go the other way, or if you're around people, you try to be real polite. That is so true, Ak. That is so true. And like I said, this sister brought out the fact that you act different around white people. You act different, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows this is not nothing that new. Black people know how they talk amongst one another, and we know how we talk when we get on the phone. Like you be like, yeah, nigga, yeah, I was doing this, yeah, and these niggas, blah, 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 blah. Hello, yeah, hello, yeah. Oh yeah, I made that order. Oh yeah, definitely, I can do that. Sure, I can do that. Like I think they call it code switching or something like that, where when you get around Edomites, you change your whole demeanor. But also, not to say that's not how you should be. You can still be yourself and be professional at work or at school. But we do switch up. We try to be more polite, as opposed to us. We're very rude with one another in the world. We're rude with other Black and Hispanic people. We're not polite. We're not, courteous and all of that. One thing you see with us is we bring out all of the manners when we get around Edomites, as opposed to our own people. We talk about it in ISBK all the time. Like we give all the compassion to our oppressor. Like we feel Black people was crying and feeling bad when Queen Elizabeth died, when any Edomite actor dies, when any senator dies. We exude all of that compassion and love for these other people. But when it comes to us, we're just like, we're ruthless to one another, right? Is there anything else? Like anything else? Go ahead, Oscar. I forgot you did have your hand up.
I say, with Donald Trump, the remarks he made towards the Latino people.
Oh yeah.
And then him not saying anything about other immigrants.
Oh yeah.
Just targeting Hispanic.
That's oppression, and that's cruel. What was the definition again?
To burden spiritually and mentally.
Well, if the president of the United States calls your people racist, I mean not racist, but rapists, and what else did he say? Donald Trump said he called Mexicans rapists, and what? He called the Mexicans drug dealers and rapists. Now, if you're Mexican and you know that you're a righteous brother and you're not that, and even if you're in the world and you don't know the truth, you hear Donald Trump say that, think about how that's going to make you feel. That's going to be a mental burden. That's going to subconsciously make you feel like when you come around white people, you got to be on your best behavior. You got to prove to them that you're not like what Donald Trump said. You're not this guy that wants to rape women. You're not this guy that wants to sell drugs. You want to go to school. You want to get a good education. You want to get a good job. You want to have a wife. You want to have a house. You want to have the kid. You want to get married. You want to have the perfect life, the American life. Go ahead, Oscar Ward.
After the president made their remark, those remarks, now some white guy who supports him goes into Walmart and targets innocent Hispanics.
Give me Psalms 146 and 7.
We're not rapists, we're not drug dealers. They're just in there shopping, trying to make some food.
Now
they're getting hunted down by Trump supporters.
So he targets. He's a Trump supporter that targets Hispanics. Oh, yeah. Right. If you could give me you wanted to say, oh, go ahead. Just hold that. You wanted to say something? Yeah. Hold 146. Let me give me some more examples. So another example, right? What is an example? Is the way that Black and Hispanic people get harsher sentences when we done did the same crime as white people. Now, white people don't. I'm sure you heard this one. When you get caught with some crack cocaine, you're gonna do 6 years. When they get caught with the good stuff, the pure cocaine, they get 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So that's unfair treatment. And you would say, a lot of people would say that's excessive. That's, over the top. Why is it not equal? If we live in a country that's equal, why isn't the sentencing equal between Black and white people? That's a form of oppression. Now, for the Black people that say that oppression doesn't exist, that still happens to this very day. For white people that would say oppression doesn't exist, you can do whatever you want, that still happens. Those are facts. You can't even argue that, right? They're doing legislation right now trying to make sentencing equal playing field. If we're in America and they say we're all equal, why do they have to make more laws for us to get sentenced in an equal way? You gonna say something else? Go ahead.
Two things that I could. One of them is like oppression exists because of how even the richer of Israel can't say that they don't experience oppression because your business doesn't thrive.
We're gonna get into that, but go ahead. Make your point.
Your business doesn't thrive unless you team up or partner up with the Edomite or a person of a different nation.
Right.
If you trying to do it alone, you have to jump through way more hoops and go through way more obstacles than the
teaming up with another race, teaming up with white people or Arabs or Asian people, right? You got to do that in order to survive. And that also goes back to when I first started. I said a lot of these viewpoints come from successful Black people, successful Native American and Hispanic people that say you're not oppressed. Look at me. I'm an example that there is no oppression because I'm successful. I got my own business. I'm an entrepreneur. Or there was that brother. What's that brother from the Seattle Seahawks? I don't think this was years ago, but he had like dreads, like Richard Sherman or something. Richard Sherman. Yeah, but his brother's name was Richard Sherman, I believe. He was from the Seattle Seahawks, and there was a story on him where he said basically like he came out of Compton, and he made it. So niggas ain't got no excuse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like basically that mentality, like, oh, I made it. So what is all these other Black people's excuse? I made it. So what is all these Hispanic people's excuse? I'm over here legally. No, go get your green card. I'm over here legally. Like, what is your excuse? You know what I'm saying? I'm a Native American Indian. What's your excuse for being a drunk on a reservation? You have no excuse. Go ahead.
Also, like, and it's been said by those richer Black people, and this is why I think it's just a delusion now. They just want to make themselves feel better at this point because it's like, you know that you can be overqualified for a job. have a better application, a better presentation for application for a house or job or a car, whatever the situation may be. But then here comes Joe Smith. He just gets to get it
right
before you. He's underqualified, or he doesn't. His credentials don't match up to yours, but
right.
because he's Joe Smith.
Because he's Joe Smith and he got that white privilege.
Right.
You understand?
He's gonna get denied, and he's gonna get picked every time. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. That's so true. You know what I mean? And what are some other things? Anybody else got any more? Go ahead.
One more, sir, if I could. Also, how they say that one of the things is being burdened spiritually, how they force Christianity on all of our people.
So you going back to the definition, how they, because Christianity is a burden. It definitely is a burden because it creates a burden, an invisible burden. So Christianity tells you that if you can do anything, you can do whatever you want. You can live it up, live your best life. You only live once. But we know, according to the Bible, that's not true. So you live the life that America tells you to live, and then you hit a brick wall. And Christianity says, like, all you got to do is believe within your heart and soul and ask Jesus Christ for forgiveness. So in essence, Christianity doesn't even fix a person. Whatever their issue was, whatever their problem is, they will continue to keep doing it because all they understand is that, hey, I make mistakes and I get back up and I ask Christ for forgiveness, you know, but they never change. They never actually change or modify their behavior, right? You just gonna ask something else? No, you good. You good.
I was just saying, like, as far as when you think about the Indian border schools, they made them young Native brothers cut their ear off. That burdened them spiritually. It made them feel less than.
There's a video clip. I don't know what the movie is, but yes, that the brother brought out some heavy thing, and this is something that Officer 5000 and Kazak Yabi brought out a lot, is about the Native American boarding schools, where they would hit you if you spoke your native tongue. Those white settlers that was running them schools that looked so harmless, they would beat those kids. If those kids spoke their native tongue, they had to start speaking English. So basically, over a period of time, they wiped out their native tongue, and they made them cut their hair into a more European style with the short hairstyle and the part down the middle, right? And so that is a burden, spiritually and mentally. You know what I mean? That destroys a person. You know, that breaks a person down. Like, as God's chosen people, you look at Black and Hispanic people, and you see that these people have so many problems. You see so many problems with us and so much dysfunction in us. And I can imagine that the society, all the other races, they look at us and say, like, these people cannot get right. So these people are destined to be slaves. These people are destined to be at the bottom. They should be at the bottom. But they love Beyonce and Jay-Z and, you know, Kobe Bryant and, you know, Michael Jordan. They love the entertainment value that we bring. But for the most part, they look at us like, these niggas, man. We are definitely a byword and a proverb in their mouths. And within closed doors, you know, they talk really bad about us. They won't never say it to us in our face or in front of our face, but they never really actually think about how did we get like this? What is the reason why we're like this? What is the reason why, you know, Native American Indians, who were once a great people, are the number one in suicide and alcoholism? Why? Why are Black people drug dealers and hoes and pimps? And, you know, why are why are Hispanic people considered to be rapists and considered to be people that are dishonest and will cross the border and lie and steal? Why? When we all know, we all see the greatness in us. Everybody can look at Mexicans and say, shit, I cannot outwork a Mexican. They are a honorable, hardworking people. You cannot take that from them. I've worked with Mexicans, and I'm a hard worker. And I try to keep up with this brother, and he was just outdoing me. And I'm like, it's like he's not even trying. I said, it must be right what the scriptures say about you, because brother, you're amazing. You know, you're just amazing. And I look at that, like damn, like and even the value when you look at us as far as like our talents, our mind, how we're able to invent, how we're able to create. You know, there was a Mexican girl, little girl, 12-year-old girl. She made the connection that all the presidents are connected. She did research and did a project and found out that every president is related to each other. A little Israelite girl. You know what I'm saying? But excuse me. The point is that we're so great, man. We're so great, and no one ever asks, like, why in the hell are we so destroyed? No one ever thinks about, like, damn, these people are just totally amazing. LeBron James, what else? Who else? Any sport. You look at it like this, even with the Africans. The so-called these owners in America, they don't go to Africa to find great talent. Where do they go? To the ghettos, to the barrios. They go to the favelas in Brazil. They go to the Dominican Republic. They go to Cuba. That's where they go. They go to Haiti. They go to Puerto Rico. They go to those places because that's where the most talented people. That's where the salt of the earth come from. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it? What is going on with us as a people? Why everybody hate us? And those people that hate us should ask themselves, why do we hate these people? They give us everything. They make everything fun and exciting about our world. You understand? It is very simple. It's because the Lord is the spirit of the Lord is within Black and brown people, Black and Hispanic people. If you could give me that one, what I asked for. We're talking about oppression. We're talking about why is it what the brother said. It's amazing that the oppressor have all and he's pressed to hold us down. They give us, but they can't even provide clean water. They're so pressed, charging $25 for some toilet paper. That's right, What did I ask for?
Exodus 1:13.
That's what I asked for?
1:14. Is that the one and they were burdened in Exodus?
I thought Psalms 146:7. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got that. Yeah. Wait. What is that one again? Give me that, because that goes with oppression. Give me that first, Ashur, because that goes with the definition about the burdens. Go ahead.
Look at Exodus chapter 1 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
If you could go up, give me what you think would be give people context when they hear it, when you read it. Give more context. Okay.
And Exodus 1 and 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
So the Egyptians made the children of Israel serve with rigor. Is this after Joseph died and a new Pharaoh rose up? So Joseph died and a new Pharaoh rose up. Many scholars and historians have said that Joseph is Imhotep, or who the Egyptians know as Imhotep. That was Joseph, right? And when you see Imhotep, the statues of him, he doesn't look like an Egyptian. He looks like he could have been a Puerto Rican. You understand what I'm saying? But when Joseph died, because Joseph had favor, he rose to second in charge under the Pharaoh, which was Vizier. Go ahead, Ashur.
Sidebar, sir. Have you seen the movie The Mummy?
Yes.
That name is in there, right? Imhotep? They say it. I think that's
Yeah. And also in the mummy, on that part, I'm talking about the original mummy, on the part where he comes back to life and that guy is there and he has all kind of chains on his neck and he's putting chains up to the mummy and he's reading off different languages, and then the mummy's not hearing him. Then he pulls up the shield of David and he starts speaking Hebrew, and the mummy says, the language of the slaves, I can use you. Like, so they put little things in the movies to let you know that who the original Hebrews were slaves in Egypt are. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead and get back to that precept I wanted.
13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
They made their lives bitter. They made them serve with rigor. That's the same thing blacks and Hispanics did in America. You served with rigor. You did hard bondage. You did hard work. Even I believe it was in the 50s, they had a program where they brought Mexicans from Mexico to work the fields. It was a government program, right? And then once they were done, they said, we don't need you no more. Get out of here. Go back to Mexico. This was in the 50s. It's a program. I don't remember the program, but it's a program where they were bringing Mexicans. So that's where you get a lot of pictures of Mexicans working the fields, picking cotton. They still do it today. They're picking the fruit that lands on your table. You having a good salad, you have one, romaine lettuce and I don't know, walnuts and shit. Salami. That got on your table by Mexicans being out there 12 hours a day in them damn fields. Right out here in California, in the Imperial Valley, the area what is it? Not Imperial, but what's the area? Kern County. Go ahead.
And that's oppression because this is our land. We were here before
Good night.
the white man got here, and now they're over us, and they would not be in the position they're in if it wasn't for us.
Right.
And they still got us to this day, 400 years later, still doing the base work. Doing slavery.
Right.
When it should be the other way around, it should be to where every other nation who comes here, they got to pay taxes to them. Because it used to be their land. All forefathers did a terrible thing to them. So everybody got to pay taxes to them. That would be righteous.
That would be righteous.
Yeah,
Listen, if you what the brother is bringing out is so heavy. He's talking about how this once was their land, but now they're working the land and they're making the life of the colonizer prosperous and bountiful, right? But in righteousness, you know what would be righteous? The same way that you steal from a brother, you would repay that sevenfold. That's the same idea that should happen with God's chosen people, with their colonizer, with the so-called white man. He should give back what he stole. He should restore what he have taken from these people. We're supposed to be a civilized nation. That's civilized to me. Civilized is if I steal from you, not only do I return it, but I do a little bit of extra. You know what I mean? But when I steal from you, I kill you, I rape you, I deny you the ability to remember to speak your language. Oh, I owe a lot. And see, what a lot of people don't like about us is that the truth is so, like, the Bible is so beautiful, because the things that we say, you may think that they are, evil and wicked, but these are God's words. God will the God of heaven and earth, the God of Israel, will require a recompense. He will want blood for what has happened to his children. And so you don't get mad at us, because the things that we speak are the Most High's words. I'm paraphrasing, but the scriptures say that Christ's garment is going to be dipped in blood. Christ is not coming back to make peace with anybody. It's going to be a terrible and fearful day on that day. You're going to know who the God of heaven and earth is. And he's not some, blonde hair, blue-eyed guy. He's a nigga that looked like a nigga that's sitting at the liquor store begging you for change. Somebody that is undesirable, somebody that is not beautiful, somebody that you would not think that has anything to do with God. Oh, it's going to be the Most High. It's going to be Christ. You understand? Go ahead. We still on 146? Anything else on that? Okay, go ahead.
Exodus 1:14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field.
So they made their lives bitter, hard bondage. That was oppression in ancient Egypt. What you'll learn if you get in these classes is that America is ancient Egypt. The scriptures say that America is Sodom in Egypt. Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt. Sodom and Gomorrah was actually 5 cities, but it's the symbolism. The symbolism for Sodom and Gomorrah is what? LGBTQ. The symbolism for ancient Egypt is bondage, oppression, right? That's it on that?
That's it, sir.
That's it. What else did I ask for? What other scripture? Give me that, young man. Give me that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 146 and verse 7, which executed judgment for the oppressed.
Go skip up one, because I don't know if we got context.
Verse 6, which made heaven and earth, the sea. You want me to skip up one more?
I want to just go to start at verse 1 so I can Salaki on that. Yes, just start at verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 146 and verse 1. Praise ye the Lord, O my soul. While I live, will I praise the Lord. I will sing praises unto my God while I have any being.
Is that verse? As you get to the verses, call them out for me, please.
Verse 3. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no hope.
Right. Don't put your trust in princes or men, meaning people on earth, people with power and average men. Go ahead.
Verse 4. His breath goeth forth, he returneth to his earth, and that very day his thoughts perish.
Right. This is part of your reincarnation precepts. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Happy is he that hath the God of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord his God.
Right. You should be happy that you got the God of Jacob for your help. That's who is on your side. The things that we experience as Black and Hispanic people are unfair. They are spiritual and mental burdens. But we do have the God of heaven and earth on our side, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob on our side. Go ahead.
Verse 6, which made heaven and earth, the sea and all that therein is, which keepeth truth forever. Verse 7, which executed judgment for the oppressed.
He does what?
Which executed judgment for the oppressed.
The Lord will execute judgment for the oppressed. What is judgment? Judgment ain't what you think in a Christian church. Are you just saying something, that somebody don't like? That's what they think in a Christian church. Judgment is. Judgment is you being condemned and sentenced. The Bible, the scripture that said he execute judgment for the oppressed. Not for everybody, not for the people that's living good, not for the oppressors, but for the oppressed. Go ahead.
Which executed judgment for the oppressed,
right?
Which giveth food to the hungry. The Lord looseth the prisoners.
That was verse 7. He giveth food to the hungry, right? What is it in Matthew chapter 6? Say, don't worry about what you eat, what you gonna eat. That the Lord provide for the sparrows. Don't worry about what's gonna tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Read that last precept again. No, you don't have to get Matthew 9. Read that last part of that precept again.
Which giveth food to the hungry. The Lord looseth the prisoners.
The ISBK giveth food to the hungry. Actual and spiritual food, which is the most important. You understand? And what about the prisoners? Read that again.
The Lord looseth the prisoner.
He looses the prisoner, which he takes the chains off of your arms, spiritually and mentally, right? Spiritually, because you're in the prison of Christianity. You think God loves everybody, and you think you're supposed to be oppressed and never feel anything towards your oppressor. And you think that your blessings come from the money that you get. How many times have we heard this? How many times have you seen on social media people talking about God and thanking God and saying it's a blessing when it's something monetary, when it has something to do with materialistic stuff, right? You know what a real blessing is? A real blessing is thinking that, you descend from slaves and this is your life and this is all what life is about. In this life, you're trying your hardest to get the bag and, you're trying to be successful and you go to school for 10, 12 years and you're trying to get a degree and then you die. That's not life. We have a different kind of hope in here. Our hope is that we wake up as many brothers and sisters that we can, because we know that there's another world coming. There's another world coming after this, because we know that this is not life, right? We know that this is just a season, and when we come back on the earth, we will be ruling. We will be running the earth. We will, as Regardie said, we will be making moves. We will be doing big things. You know what I'm saying? Like those things that we think that are everything, they're nothing to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? They are nothing to the Most High. Where we at? Is that it? Is what you got? That was it on it? Oh, Salaki. No, you good. You good. Let me get another precept. Just give me a second. So we got a troll in the comments, so let me block this troll. So the beautiful thing about this thing is you can put them on a list and they blocked. They can You said what? Right. Give me let me see. Give me Psalms 9:9. You can give me Salaki, give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. Anybody got any questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat. So we're talking about oppression because there's a lot of black and Hispanic people that would say we are not oppressed, and they'll say because there's Oprah Winfrey, you got Tyler Perry, Michael Jordan, you got Kanye West, you got a lot of rich black people, you got a lot of rich Hispanic people that you are making excuses. You're making excuses, and you are playing the victim Olympics because you're trying to be a victim, and you just don't want to do anything. Go ahead,
Don't the rich people call themselves like the 1% or?
Oh yeah, I was going to get to that. Now, it depends on what you're. It depends on if you're saying the 1%, like because Edom might say that. Like when we bring up the truth a lot, Edomites will say, "Well, brother, we're all in it together. We're all being oppressed. It's the 1% that's against all of us." You know what I'm saying? Like they say, it's a 1% that's against everybody. Like I don't know what you're talking about, but the 1% against all of us. We're on the same team. Like, and I'm like, no. But when it comes to just say for black people, when you talk about millionaires, billionaires, celebrities, they make up less than 1%. They make up 0.1% of the whole total black population. So somebody is lying, like where everybody is high value and everybody is doing good. Somebody is lying when it comes to black people. Somebody ain't telling the truth. But we know as a people, we're people that like to front. We like to front and act like it is something when it really ain't that shit. It's like, excuse my language, but we like to act like it's something when it's really not. And so I'm glad the brother brought that up, because when it comes to certain things, when it comes to celebrities, they suffer oppression too, right? And I'm gonna get into that. So what precept did I ask for? You got it. Give me Ecclesiastes 7:7.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and their gift destroyeth the heart.
It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. You have to have some type of feeling for your people, right? And a lot of times, like I just said, we feel like because we got the bag because we are successful, or because our whole family is good, that there ain't no oppression. And that's a very ignorant position to take. To take that position, well, I'll put you in a bag, because I'll show you that even if, no matter what type of money you got, you can still be oppressed as Black and Hispanic people. You God's chosen people, and if you're not keeping the law, statute, and commandments, you are at the mercy of your oppressors. You're at the mercy of these other nations. These other nations eat us. They look at us as a dollar sign. And you might have slipped through the cracks. Like the white man to say, I'll let some of these niggas, these Hispanics, slip through the crack. You know why? It looks good for diversity. It looks like we're the America that we talk about on paper. We're that America that we say, everybody come in, equality, God loves everybody. We look like that America. But in reality, anybody that's real with themselves say, they'll know, like, nah, this is not real. What they push is not real. And I feel like the other nations, they can see that Black and Hispanic people get treated totally different, right? They can see that you're not treated like everybody else. They can see the police brutality. They saw George Floyd. They saw Trayvon Martin. They saw it with their own eyes. You know what I'm saying? We're the only people that thinking like reality ain't real in our community. The top.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
The Bible said oppression make a wise man mad. We just talked about oppression. The brother read the definition of oppression. I just proved to you that Black people, Hispanic people, and Native Indian people are oppressed to this day. No matter the no matter the opportunities that we can pursue, we're still oppressed. Just because you can get a great career, or you one day can become, a cheerleader on a damn NFL team, doesn't mean that your people are not oppressed. But because you believe that your people are not oppressed, because you got that good job or that good opportunity, the brother just read it, that gift destroys your heart. It destroys your ability to reason, or your ability to feel any kind of compassion for your people and say, you know what? I came out the slum. I came out of Chirac. These niggas ain't got no excuse, because I did it. Nigga, look, I'm multi-millionaire. I got billions. Like, I got a chain. Nigga, like, what? You making excuses. You got to get up out the hood. That's not how it works. Two things can be true at the same time. I'm gonna come to you. Two things can be true at the same time. You can get out the hood. You can work hard and attain your goal. But you also can be oppressed when you can be that same brother that them two things are true. You could be the celebrity that gets pulled over and a police officer draws down on you about to blow your damn head off till he recognizes, oh, hey, you Chris Rock. Oh, hey, can I get an autograph? You know what I'm saying? But you traumatized. That's oppression. Go ahead, I was gonna say that's a selfish mindset to have. Definitely.
You saying that I came out the hood, I made it out. But you know how so I mean you saying that I know firsthand how hard it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this happen to this person. I've seen them get this person get locked up for no reason. I've seen the houses. You came from that oppression,
right?
So you know how hard it is. And then I want to ask her, like, you seeing that and knowing that I made it, I'm one of the only few that make it. That's what they say. Sometimes I'm one of the only few that make it. Because
right.
Look back at the majority of your people, they're still where they was at, or they did, or they in jail.
Exactly.
Because why? Of the oppression.
Because of the oppression. The vast majority of Black and Hispanic people are living below the poverty line, working class. You're working class poor. You understand what I'm saying? That goes back to my point. we are a people that like to front. Social media make you think that people is high value, living good, but the statistics don't say that, right? And we have to be real with the reality of our community. We have to be real with the fact that we're not all living that life. And also we got to be real with the reality that oppression does exist. Oppression is real for both things. So not both things, but oppression is real. And you being able to realize your goals or have things that you want to accomplish, you can still do those things, but you're going to have to navigate through those spiritual and mental burdens that oppression brings. You understand? Two things can be true at the same time. You know what I mean? Read the last part of that precept again. Hey, Shalom, Hector Vega. Were you 7:7? I want you to read the second part of it. But a gift destroys the heart.
And a gift destroys the heart.
I was gonna say, what is that gift? But I told it to you. But that gift can be, a scholarship. Like literally, a gift can destroy the heart. Let's just say that you're some judge and you're presiding over some trial, right? And somebody comes and hands you an envelope, and this envelope has $40,000, and it can sway you, it can bribe you, right? So what the Bible is saying, not in the literal, but a gift can destroy the heart. The thing that you get, the promotion that you get, the scholarship that you get, the chance that you get, because see, God's chosen people were always oppressed in every nation. So any little bit of good thing that you get that puts you above the average nigga could destroy your heart to where you look at your people with no compassion, and you look at your people like, I made it, why can't you make it? I did it, why can't you do it? You understand? That's that gift. Whatever the thing may be, it's not somebody literally handing you something and giving you a gift to not to look at your people different, or to not have compassion on your people, or not feel like, you know what, I made it, but that ain't enough. I want to go back and help some people in the hood. This gift really makes you look differently, and it makes you protect what you have. That's why when it comes to Black and Hispanic people that have a position of power, or have a occupation of power, or are at a level that's above, they are afraid to speak the truth. Am I right or wrong? Black and Hispanic people are afraid to speak the truth when they have a level of power in this society, because they're like, I don't want to get canceled. I don't want nobody to take away my opportunities. I don't want nobody to stop my cash flow, my money streams coming in. So yeah, I'm mad at George Floyd, how that officer knelt on his neck, but I ain't gonna say nothing about it. But I agree with everything, everybody going in on him. I agree with it, but I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, hit me one more time. I'm not gonna say anything about it, because what if they cancel me? What if they like the situation with what happened? We're gonna get to that. Let's just say there's a certain group of people that control everything in the media. And something happened, and you're like, bro, I standing with my people. But that check come every month. That check like 20, 30,000 come every month. And if you say something about these people, that check might not be coming. That's a good example of a gift destroys the heart. That's a perfect example. Like that gift destroys the heart. And you got to show love and give respect to niggas that's making millions, and they're willing to say what the truth is, because they can strip you overnight. They can pull sponsors. They can have people back out, and you can go from a billionaire to a millionaire overnight. And you can go from a millionaire to a thousandaire overnight, right? So it takes a lot of courage, and it also takes love for your people, and it takes a person that's like, F it. I see what's happening to my people. My eyes ain't lying to me. And I'm going to say something about it. Oppression makes a wise man mad. If you're not mad at oppression, then maybe you're not wise.
Right.
Maybe you're simple. If you're not mad at what happens to Black and Hispanic people on a daily basis, or if you're one of those people that say, oh, you're not oppressed anymore, then maybe you're not wise. Maybe you're one of those people, like I said earlier, that thinks that oppression actually means slavery. And maybe you should have been in class earlier when we went over the definition of oppression, which we show you that Black people go through oppression. Black and Hispanic and Native Indian people go through oppression every damn day. Now, when we're talking about, and we're not gonna time check 8:28. We're not gonna go too long, but when we talk about oppression and we talk about celebrities, right? Black and Hispanic celebrities. What's a good example? Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick started to kneel during NFL games and protesting the brutality from police officers against unarmed Black people. And what did they do to Colin Kaepernick? What did they do to him? Go ahead, Ot.
They did a couple things, sir. They slaughtered his character.
Right.
They hurt his pockets. They took his sponsorships, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And they destroyed his career.
They destroyed Colin Kaepernick's career. They called it, he got blackballed. He never got hired again. And he was standing up for a righteous cause, which was a true cause. It was something real, right? And they blackballed this brother. No, Donald Trump went on at a rally and said he was a son of a bitch. Excuse my language. That's what Donald Trump called Colin Kaepernick. He said he's a son of a bitch, right? And so when it comes to when you think about that, when has that ever happened to any other race where they stand up for their people and they get blackballed and they get hated on? Like everybody was hating on Colin Kaepernick. They was like, I want to watch. Keep that out of football. That like what. You know, kind of like the LeBron James thing. Just shut up and dribble. Why are you talking about politics? Why do you even care about this stuff? I want to see my Monday night and Sunday night football. You know what I'm saying? He had his hand up first. Go ahead, Ashur.
And it wasn't like Colin Kaepernick was just no scrub little player.
Colin Kaepernick had just took his team to the Super Bowl. Colin Kaepernick was a 6'4", quarterback that was decent. So it's not like he was a scrub doing this. No one would have cared if he was just like a bench warmer. Nobody would have cared. But he was like a starting quarterback, an elite, what they call an elite quarterback. And they did that to him. Watch Ward.
Also added to that, like if this is America, if this is the America that Hispanics and Black people support and want to be a part of and want to come to the American and I pay my taxes and this is America, then they should support Colin Kaepernick. You know what I mean?
Right.
They should want to get that message out there of the injustice being done to Black people, seeing that they were slaves in America, seeing that they were mistreated.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
That's right.
They should say, you know what? We stand with Colin Kaepernick. What he's saying is right.
Right.
You police need to get it right. What's going on in our community? What's really going on? What's his gangs out here inside the police department to target Black and Hispanics?
Right.
A righteous world would it be like we stand with Colin Kaepernick. We all love football, but we also got to make sure that we got things right.
The brother is bringing out a heavy point. Like in a righteous America, if you stand on what America's supposed to stand on, y'all would have stood with Colin Kaepernick. But yeah, everybody created equal, right? What right is right, wrong is wrong. But what we see is that is a form of oppression that even affects people that are millionaires. So oppression, you Black and Hispanic, oppression crosses all color levels, whether you rich or poor. Rich or poor. You know what I'm saying? You could be a celebrity, you can be a multimillionaire, you can be a billionaire. Kanye West. Now, I admit Kanye West probably said some things that they didn't like, but he said some truthful things, right? He said that black people was the 12 tribes of Judah. And I don't feel like they was on his head. We're gonna get to another brother, Kyrie Irving. I don't feel like they was on on Ye's head because of what they say they was on, his comments about Jews. I think it was about the fact that he said that black people are God's chosen people, right? But what do you see? Overnight, they took away all kind of sponsors and everything, dropped them. And so it proved his point. It proved the point that certain people run everything. You understand? But it just shows you that that's excessive. It's unfair. It's a mental burden. It's oppression. So people that are rich, even black and Hispanic people, God-chosen people, not in the truth, they suffer oppression too. Now, when you get to Kyrie Irving, before I get to Kyrie Irving, what's the story about Oprah Winfrey? She was in Sweden. She wanted to look at one of them bags, one of them like Louis Vuitton type bags that was like $26,000. I'm paraphrasing, but it was thousands of dollars. She asked to see the bag. The sales clerk did not want her did not let her see it. The sales clerk, matter of fact, didn't even know that she was Oprah Winfrey. Didn't know who she was. The only thing the sales clerk saw was that she was a black woman and she could not afford it. Right. Later on, of course, she apologized. But the point is that was something that was unfair, right? And it goes back to oppression, because oppression not only can be from the government, it can be from white supremacy. And white supremacy is global. They all think the same. They all think that a nigga can't afford nothing. Why are you here? Like, oh, you got money? Oh, how you get this Lamborghini? Like, how can you afford this purse? Like, a lot of times they can't even put the two and two together. They're like, it just blows their mind. You know what I mean? They're not used to seeing anybody black or Hispanic with that type of wealth or money. Let alone this lady's in Sweden. Can you really imagine that? Everybody know you think everybody knows who Oprah Winfrey is. She didn't even know who she was. She's just a black woman to her. You know what I'm saying? You're just a nigga to me. You know what I mean? Like Kanye West said in that song, even if you're a nigga in a Benz, you're still a nigga in a coupe, right? That's oppression. Like, you don't, no matter how nice the things you have, don't change who you are. They don't change the fact that you're God's chosen people. And because you don't know the law, statutes, and commandments, we suffer these things. We suffer, and we be like, like the cartoon thing where it has like a bubble over the head, like a thought bubble. We be like perplexed. They're like, did they just call me a nigga? Did they just refuse to serve me because I'm black? We don't even understand it. We be like, oh, I thought I had rights. Why you pull me over, officer? We don't even understand what we're up against. It's a spiritual battle because of who we are. You understand? If you could, what do I want? I'm gonna get to and then Kyrie Irving. Let me get to that. Kyrie Irving shared a link. Kyrie Irving ain't never did nothing. If you could give me, let me see. We're not gonna get to the. I wanted to go into child support and welfare, the welfare program, the act, and all of that, the history. But I'll do that on another class. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 47. I went over this last week, but somebody else give me what do I want? What is the one? I think it might be Isaiah 42 and 22. Isaiah 42 and 22, where we talk about a snare and a trap. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving shared a link that this link was to a video or a movie, a documentary that showed that black people are Hebrews. Now, what is it? Brett Favre. What did he do again?
He stole millions of dollars.
So Brett Favre stole millions of dollars in like a fraud scheme, but it took money from welfare recipients, which are poor black people in Mississippi, right? Was it Mississippi? Him and another person. Right. And what's the dude that runs Dana White. Dana White, they got a video where he's slapping the hell out of his wife. And you ain't heard she did hit him, but he slapped the hell out of her. He checked her. But you ain't heard nothing about Brett Favre or Dana White. But the media went crazy over Kyrie Irving sharing a link. And you know what they did? They had a long list of things Kyrie Irving had to do. This brother had to apologize again, go to the Holocaust Museum, meet with Jewish leaders, meet with the owner of the Nets, donate $500,000 to some charity. They gave a list. They tried to humiliate and buck break the brother in front of the whole world. Now, any logical thinking person that saw that would know that black people are oppressed. You can just see the difference with Brett Favre. The media didn't even mention it. He stole millions of dollars from people that are on public assistance that would need the money. Dana White slapped the spit out of his wife's mouth on camera, and nobody said a goddamn thing. Nobody said a goddamn thing. Dana White slapped the spit out of his wife's mouth on camera, and ain't nobody said nothing about that. No media barrage. This is sports. Nothing on ESPN. Nothing. Brett Favre, this is sports, stole millions of dollars from people who needed public assistance, and you didn't hear anything. Kyrie Irving, he shared a link. The whole world was about to fall over. The whole world was going to turn upside down because Kyrie Irving shared a goddamn link. But here's the key. The link was to a documentary that was saying that black people are the real Jews. You understand? But I didn't bring it out because of that. I brought it out so that you can see even people with money are oppressed. Even Israelites with bread are oppressed. Oppression ain't just something that, people like y'all think, like people that got excuses and people that are poor and people that don't want to work, people that are lazy and people that are making that want to have a victim mentality used. No, oppression is real, and oppression don't just happen to poor people. It happens to the rich of Israel also. You got the proof right in your goddamn face. I hope you taking notes. I hope somebody's taking notes. The proof is right in your face. What did I ask for? Deuteronomy 28. Give me Deuteronomy 28. 47, I think.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
So because we didn't serve the Lord, because we turned our backs on the Lord, and because we wanted to do what we want to do like we like to do today, the Lord said we would serve our enemies in what?
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness.
So we serve our enemies in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
And in want of all things. Want of simple respect. Want in being treated like a human being. Want in wanting to be equal, like America been telling us for, forever. Wanting to be equal. You know what I mean? We just want to be We just want to have a equal footing and be able to compete in this world as regular human beings. That's what that's what a lot of people say. I just want to be treated like a human being. Well, you're not going to be treated like a human being because you're the children of God. That's why you're not going to be treated like a human being. Every nation hates you. Every nation wants to profit off of you. Every nation looks at you with disgust. And I'm not saying that in a for the simpletons. I'm not saying that in a personal level. I'm saying that from a nationality standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint. You probably have good relationships with Asians. You probably have a good relationship with some damn African. You probably got a good relationship with the white people at your job or some friends or family. But the Bible says that we are separate and we are different from everybody else, and everybody else have plotted on us. Everybody else have eaten and preyed on us and got rich off of us, and we don't see it, man. We don't see it. And we fall for the trap to say that, no, because I'm successful as a black man, as a Hispanic man, there's no oppression. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Now, there was a study that came out. This was like, I think maybe 2016. The study came out where they determined that in order for a black family to reach the net worth of a white family, it would take 228 years. They said it would take 200. Listen, America has been around for 250 years, give or take. It would damn near take the same amount of years that America has existed and for you to catch up. You know why? Because they had a 500-year head start on you. Go ahead, Ashawar. The net worth is like what you're worth, like in a money value. So if I say, what's the net worth of Jay-Z? I don't know. I don't know what the net. But that's how much money all of his assets combined what he's worth. Yes. Yeah, everything that has a monetary value, right? His business, his investments, everything. It don't say the number, but it just says that in order for a black family to reach the net worth of a white family, it would take 228 years. So the question is, if we're all equal, why would it take so long for us to be, to catch up? It's because we're oppressed. It's because maybe somebody, what was the definition of Karatazar? Yeah. Pull it again, because I want to make this point. So in order for it said in order for a black, y'all can look this up. You online, look it up right now. It says that in order for a black family net worth to reach that of a white family's net worth, it would take 228 years. This came out in like 2016. I remember when I brought it out at camp. You got it? Go ahead.
To crush or burden by abuse of power or authority.
To crush, oppression means to crush or burden by abuse of power or authority. So you asked the question, why would it take 228 years to catch up? It's because maybe somebody is crushing you and abusing you with power and authority, and they're saying, I'm going to deny this home loan. I'm going to deny you to move in this neighborhood. I'm going to deny you this business loan. I have the authority to, we don't have any opportunities at this business. No, you can't get this promotion. Maybe it's a people that's oppressing you. That's why it's going to take 228 years for you to reach the level of white people. With that, I pass the class to Priestess Officer Oscar Warren. Let's clap for that.
Elijah, please stand. We're going to start face the teacher. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Shabbat, Elijah, Barak,
Yahweh Shimi Al Shabarakathum. Yahweh Shimi Al Shabarakathum.
Ready, Matah?